Hello, in this video we are going to go over the Nmap enumeration script that we can use for LDAP and also for Kerberos. So since we know that we are running Kerberos on the, if we go to that 50, you can see the information that we saved. We can see that 88 is open for Kerberos. Therefore, we should be able to try to get some information or to dump information using Nmap from Kerberos. And another way that you could do is using LDAP, the scripts that Nmap has for LDAP and also Kerberos, which is over here. So we're going to try to see if we can find some information with Nmap, just another tool that we can use. So this is actually going to be a long, really long command. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be copying and pasting it over here. So here we are going to basically just run Nmap, and we want to scan port 389 and nothing else. Then we want to get the script, and the script that we want to do is the LDAP search script. Then we want to do or add some arguments to that script that we're going to be using. So we're using the script arguments in here, and the argument is going to be that the LDAP username is going to be IPsec. So that's the one that we're going to be using to authenticate. Basically, we are going to be adding the domain over here, and what we want to gather, what object we want to get, it is the user's object, right? We also want to do for the domain, which is the pentesting.local domain. The password that we want to use for the user IPsec is going to be password 12345, the one that we gather from that SMB file shares. And then we want to do some filters. We want to say that equal to users, and the attribute to be same account name, and for the domain controller 192.168.1.50, and then we want to use this PN and see what we can find. And you can see that we were able to get all the users from the domain, so that's awesome. We can just do OA and just call it Nmap users, right? Nmap users, and there we go. We were able to save it over here. We can always just do a cat so we can see that information, and we can see all that in here. Awesome. Even though we have it, but we can just save it, save everything that we have. So you can say something gets corrupted, you never know. Okay, so that is one way to get it through LDAP, and that command, you can also change that command if you want to get, instead of the users, you want to get the group, you can just change that to groups. If you want to get computers, you can get computers. You can get whatever you want with this Nmap script. So it is straightforward. All you have to do is just change the what you want to get from that domain, what object you want to get from that domain. So if you want to get, instead of the users, if you want to get the computers, you can do that. If you want to get the groups, you can do any object in a domain. So another way that I really don't like it is doing the Kerberos, because this one doesn't really give me a lot of good information. So we are going to be using now Nmap port 88, and if you look online, port 88, what is port 88? Port 88 is it's Kerberos, guys. So it's Kerberos, and Kerberos usually runs on port 88. And if we go to my server tree, as we saw before, port 88 is Kerberos security. You can also see that from the .52, which is another domain controller. We can see it over here, port 88 running, and also LDAP is also running. Okay, so we gather information from LDAP, and now we want to get it from Kerberos and see what we can find. And there we go, Nmap port 88 for Kerberos. The script that we want to run is the KRB5 enum users to enumerate the users, and another script over here looks like it's duplicates. Yeah, that's fine. And the argument that we want to use is just two different ways to do it. You can do it both ways, but that's fine. Then we want to add the argument to that script, and we want to say that we want to get the pentesting.local users from the pentesting.local, and that is it. So this basically doesn't use any authentication. This is basically using anonymous, basically. So we were able to get some users like the web admin and the web and also the web and the administrator. So we were able to gather something, not a lot, but we at least got something. So there is one way to enumerate through Nmap via it was anonymously because we did not use any accounts to authenticate. So that is just another way that you can enumerate users on a domain or any object, right? Because all the groups, computers, what else? The anything that's in there are objects. So that's what I'm saying, objects. So the users are objects, the computers are objects in there. So that's how you're able to enumerate objects in using Nmap for a inactive directory through Kerberos.